Courtlock. So Courtlock is a shooting grounds in County Dublin that Richard set up alongside my father Bill, and we myself and my two brothers and my sister and Bill are operating it now. But what year did you set up Courtlock?
Well, I don't know, back in the late 80s, middle 80s onwards, I was in the coal business. At least Dick was in the coal business at the time, got into the coal business. And I was the one in the yard. And at the time I used to be in a cabin pack, you know,
Yeah.
office. But this friend of mine, Ben Hagan, came up one evening. I don't mind mentioning Brendan anyway. And Brendan said, listen, we've got a man down here. It's actually, his name was Amos Stevenson.
Oh yes, Eamon, yeah.
And he said, we can't get him to shoot at clay, to hit at clay. See, we have a trap going down on the hill, down the field. He said, could you come down and give us a tip, or give him a tip on how to do it? Okay, I said, here, what kind of land is it? Is it wet? No, I said, okay, but I had a pair of shoes on me. But it wasn't dry, it was bloody well mucky. I said, hey, hold on for a second, Brendan says, I am going to get wet feet here. No, you won't, walk behind me. So, anyway, up we get to where Eamon was, and I was introduced to him, and Ben said, well, see, can you give him a few tips? Now, what kind of gun have you got? So he had a gun, it was a side-by-side gun. So I took the gun off him and I explained to him about a gun. So I said, do you know anything about a gun, Eamon? Well, he says, I know what it could do, but he says, I'm not going to say I know an awful lot about them. But a gun, says I, is pretty much like a woman, says I, you have to more or less caress it. All this jazz, so I tell him all of this, what to do with it and what not. And so I make sure that I've got it mounted in the proper manner, you know. So of course there was a lot of laughter around the place, you know. But I gave him a little bit of a story, and so anyway, I got him set up. I got him the stance, what to do, stance, the head. So make sure that your head is in the finished position. Don't ever attempt to put your head down to a stock. Be sure that the stock comes to your cheek in the proper fashion and is ready for shooting straight away. You don't have to adjust your head anyway.
Yeah.
That's number one on the list. You cannot allow that. So he shot the first target, and then he shot the second target, and he shot the third target. He shot 10 birds straight, and he was absolutely up in the air completely. And so when he took him to one side a wee bit, so to give him a little bit of an angle, because the targets were coming at him.
Okay.
So I said,
so you seen the
so
full belly of the clay.
but then he missed a couple of kind of sideways and missed a few targets, didn't mind. Make sure so I keep in front, so I keep that gun moving. So eventually he got there. So it finished up anyway. He sent me up a bottle of brandy. I know that at the end, but then he should have a trap up there, and I think it more or less started from there. The idea of because Ben used to be up there every day, be around the place, and so then it more or less started. There was Sunday morning. We had a couple of traps. I'd run up in the loft, one of the Hepworth refractories that I had.
Yeah.
And we got another couple of traps, and we finished up then in the quarry. We had
Yeah.
stands in the quarry, so it
I
just
remember all of that.
it all started from there. So then in '90 they started the trench.
The first trench layout.
Yeah.
Olympic traps
Yeah,
for
Olympic
those
trap.
who don't call it
So
trench.
it went. So it kind of grew from there. It grew up. It took a good few years to get it all finished. You know.
But it never
But it's not
started out as a business. Did
No.
it? It was
No,
just
no.
a
Bit of fun.
bit
Sunday
of fun,
morning.
yeah, and then it just
Sunday
grew
morning.
and developed.
Then it went just further. You know. Once you set up, put it down the line trap in, a couple of down the line traps, and then
Just expanded.
just expanded from there.
Okay.
That was it.
Did you get any coaching?
No, I did not. I coached myself because I meant to practice the whole thing about which I thank the rifle for a lot of it. In point of fact, the quarry, as you notice it now, whenever the quarry was there, I used to have potatoes, and I had a young lad, and I'd go up there, and he'd come up with me, and I had a rifle. I used to use the Mauser all the time for this, and I said, "You start throwing those potatoes." And when you hit a potato, they were a great target. Why? Because when you hit them, they exploded.
Right.
And into billions of big pieces, just exploded and they actually make a bang, you know, when you hit them. But one of the problems was the young lad got to the stage he used to hate me.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Bringing up and throwing up these potatoes.
His arm would be wrecked.
He'd be throwing them up there. I'd shoot a couple of hundred bullets, no problem, you know. And but you had to leave the place occasionally.
Okay.
Because the flies would gather around in the summertime
Oh, the potatoes.
with all the bits of potatoes. So, but I found that reflexes is important.
Yes.
Reflex. That's everything to do with shooting. Is reflex. See that finger there? That's the important bit.
Your trigger finger.
Trigger finger. That's very important. That finger there, that's the one that brings you the targets. It brings you back the cups. You know.
Well, yeah.
The trigger finger. You gotta be able to use that. Make sure you exercise that. Yeah.
So in the coaching then, where would you start with people?
Oh, so what I would start with people first and foremost. I used to be on a stand, and the way I stood, I felt this was the way everybody should stand. There's a position that you stand. If you're right-handed, I was right-handed, and if you're left-handed, you do
The opposite.
The opposite.
Feet.
Feet-wise, because stance is very important.
Yes.
You've got to stand in the right position to be able to take left and right without stress or strain. But I had slabs of concrete right up to the back of the trap house. And in each one I had the steps. So I'd bring you starting off to shoot, I'd bring you up to the back of the trap house. But prior to you doing that at all, I would get you to mount the gun. First and foremost, mount it and get it coming up to your cheek. First, before you fire a shot, I had a mirror. Just the end of it, I had a mirror. And I put a target on the mirror, stamp anything on the mirror. And you see, and you put your eye up. Because whenever you put your eye, you'll see exactly where you're looking at. And get your head into a position, stand to when you bring the gun up, it's coming up to the same spot all the time. Number one on the list is standing, your head, and mounting the gun. You've got to do that.
Gun fit.
Yeah. And then, when I was satisfied with them doing that, I take them out and I put them directly behind the trap house. And I'd throw a straightaway target. And I'd say, okay, mount the gun, and this target is going to be straight away just get onto it, pull the trigger. So anyway, they would, after, they mightn't hit them all, but they will hit most of them anyway.
Yes.
So you start off there and then gradually bring them back till they're back at, was it 15 yards or something? Yeah.
Yeah, but to the stand-up positions in down the
Yeah,
line.
so anyway, back, and so then, and after that you go from side to side, left and right, till they'll be able to handle it. So once you got them to stand right and mount the gun properly, after that is a question of practice, you know.